How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of your favorite fishing podcast, swimbait podcast, whatever you guys want to call it. Episode 208, joined by a guy who, if you guys are on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, you guys have seen this guy's shorts, just plain and simple. Maybe you've only seen his shorts, maybe you haven't seen any of his YouTube videos. I will say, I just watched your 7-day challenge with the 250 and the Glideway. Dude, that was an absolute awesome video. If you guys only know Skipper from his reels, go check out the YouTube page. We'll dive deeper into that. But absolutely awesome video. We're joined by the real Skipper, as you guys know him on Instagram. Like I said, dude, your reels are just everybody knows them. I think everybody probably has an idea who you are just based on those yourself, and we'll go those themselves, and we'll go a little bit deeper kind of into the whole content creation thing. But I guess Skipper, before we get too deep into it, kind of who are you, what do you do, and where are you at for people who are not familiar with who you are?
What's up, everybody? Basically, I live down in South Florida, Naples to be specific. I saltwater fish and freshwater fish like just nonstop. I like to be as versatile as possible. I fish just about every which way from big glide baits to ultralight stuff, even in the fly stuff here and there. But mostly just looking for giant trophy fish. Not much of like a tournament fisherman, never really been like a numbers guy, just studs. That's all I'm after.
Heck yeah, dude. I can get down with that. I can get down with that. Yeah, in that video, the 7-day video, you caught a bunch of like tiny little snook on that glideway, and then you were just like you locked it and just kept the 250 in your hands all the way. The whole rest of the video. I'm like, there's something admirable when a guy knows like I'm gonna catch one fish in the next 25 hours worth of fishing, but I'm gonna stick with it because it's gonna be a big 30, 40 inch fish. So I saw that in the video. And I was like, this is my guy right here. I can get down with what he's into. So
Yeah, definitely.
so I gave Skipper an idea before we got on the podcast. Told him about the icebreakers and stuff, just so he has some kind of idea of what I'm going to ask him. So the first question we ask everybody, because it's just become such a standard over the last probably 40 or 50 episodes now, is Skipper, I'm down there in Florida. I'm gonna come film for you, fish with you, whatever we're gonna do. Tomorrow morning, we're getting the boat ready. Where is like the go-to stop for you pre-trip, and what are we getting while we're there? Like, what are the snacks? What are the drinks? What are the stimulants? Like, what are we getting before we get too deep into this fishing adventure we're going on?
For me, especially, I mean, this has been proven just about like all of my YouTube videos is the white monster
Mm.
and white powdered sugar donuts.
Okay.
I don't know why, but the white powdered sugar donuts, like they're full of sugar
Yeah.
and they got a whole bunch of carbs in them. They're super bad for you, but they're like really easy, like on your stomach. So like I don't know, like if you like eat like Chipotle before you go out on the
Yep.
boat, man, like you're gonna be out there. You don't want
Yep.
that. So they're like super filling, and then of course, gotta have my caffeine. I'm an addict.
Yeah. Dude, in the wintertime, like when we're ice fishing, you get up early and like you stop and grab bait. Dude, powdered donuts and a chocolate milk was my go-to for the longest time. I could not even imagine how many bags of powdered donuts I've eaten. I guarantee it's probably north of way too many, but dude, like you said, they're like the fluffy ones, like when you bite into it and it's just like a cloud there. Oh my gosh, dude, those are hard to beat. I want to say that's the first time anybody's mentioned the powdered donuts. That could put a lot of people on if they're not familiar with the powdered donut game.
100%, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of you know who the real ones are. If they're talking about powdered sugar donuts,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah, they
know.
got game. They got game. Is there any specific brand you're going for? Like up here in Michigan, we have I don't even know what brand it is, but it comes in like that blue like paper bag and like it folds over and has the white tabs that you kind of pull out. Like dude, like that's the one you buy and you eat them all on accident and there's like freaking 30 in there and when you're getting to the lake and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I ate about 25 too many."
Yeah. Hostess donuts are definitely where it's at. There's all the generic ones are never as good. They're always like really stale,
Or like I
but
don't
the
know, dude.
host,
Some of those off-brand ones, like when you bite into it, it's like a pound cake. Like they're thick. There's some
yeah,
heft behind some of them. Some of them aren't fluffy like those hostess ones are, and those are the ones that you cannot you. I will say I'm all for saving money, but when it comes to a powdered donut, if you want a good powdered donut, you drop the big money on a good bag of powdered donuts, and it's well worth it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
Heck yeah, dude. And then second question is kind of the newer one we've been asking everybody. And this one I wanted to tell you because it always puts guys on the spot. I had Lawson Lindsay on a couple weeks ago and I didn't tell him before the show and I was like, "Hey Lawson, what's like your walk-up song?" And he's like, "Oh my God." Like he's scrolling through Spotify while we're recording trying to find a song that he's like, "Oh, maybe this one, maybe this one, maybe this one." So, I gave Skipper a heads up on that. So like if you guys don't know the the icebreaker is Skipper's fishing, we'll say the Bassmaster Classic tomorrow, and they're like, "Hey, dude, we need your walk-up song to play when you pull your boat in to get ready to weigh your fish." Skipper, it's all on you, man. What song's playing when you walk up on the stage with maybe five fish to win you $1 million? What's the go-to, or what? Maybe like two or three go-tos for you, because that's kind of a tough question.
I got you. I would say Corn, and I would say the song Lies. Lies
Okay.
by Corn have to be up there. And then let's see. A second one would have to be probably H by Tool,
Okay.
another one of my favorites. And then I got to throw a wacky one out there. I got to. I would say probably Hammer Smash Face by Cannibal Corpse.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I'm a big metal guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I when I had Lawson on, I kind of had a picture of what he listens to, and then he throws out Pinball Wizard. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that song, but that was totally not what
yeah.
I was thinking he was gonna say. He was like, probably Pinball Wizard," and then he goes in depth of explaining what the song is about in case people don't know. He's like, "Oh, it's kind of about a mentally challenged kid who's really good at pinball that nobody can beat." Dude, that guy had me rolling. I was like, I could not believe that he just said that. Like, that's not who I pin Lawson to be, is listening to Pinball Wizard while he's doing his thunder squats every morning. Like, dude, that killed me that
Right.
episode. So, like I mentioned, Skipper
Oh,
is a like, dude, you do a lot of Instagram reels and just a lot of like, I would say like meme content, just like rage baiting posts or just whatever you want to call it. And dude, it is so funny. So to kind of, we're probably going to talk a lot about like, I want to talk a lot about like your content creation, kind of how you got into that, and then we'll obviously brush into the fishing side of things too. But when you started your Instagram, I guess like when you started your, what's called a fishing Instagram, did you know like this is kind of what you wanted it to be into, is like long form like informational YouTube content and then short form funny content, or kind of like how did it all shake out for you when you first got onto Instagram? Like was fishing Instagram even a thing, or kind of were you like in the heyday of it, or how did it all work?
so when I was a lot younger, down here in like Florida, there's like everyone is like low key kind of like clout chasers.
Mm.
And like everybody who fishes had a fishing Instagram. And it was just like a way that you could like talk shit to other dudes and be like, oh yeah, do you catch fish? Oh yeah, you don't have like, and it was never really like something that like I got into like for that. Like I got into fishing, literally catching bluegill during a hurricane because we had no power. And I got into fishing and like that was my like the first guy I met was like, dude, you want to fish with me? Like, get your Instagram, yada yada yada. And I ended up getting an Instagram and I started posting fish. And dude, it was atrocious, man. I was posting anything and everything because like I was a Guggen, dude. I've been fishing for like 6 months
Mm.
and I'm like flicking up with fish that are like, I don't know what I'm doing. And during like high school, like I loved making videos and like content and not just fishing stuff, but literally just anything and everything. I've always loved photography and like making the memes and whatnot. Like that was just me having fun.
Mm.
I never ever planned to make fishing like content. It was I never wanted to be a YouTuber, never wanted to be like anybody. I literally just shit post memes and like I just have fun, and it's gotten me here, and I'm so grateful for that. But as far as like memes and long form content, I'm like all over the place, and it's like I do what I want. I make what I'm feeling that day, and whatever gets made, I put out there. So I never really have like a set plan. I don't think I have a plan for the future either. I think I'm just gonna keep having fun and doing what I do best, and that's I mean that's where I'm at.
Right. Yeah. Was like, did you run like a secret meme account before you brought it on to like your actual fishing page that you have now? Like, did you run one of these like there's a couple swim bait meme pages, or I guarantee there's a couple saltwater swim bait pages. Like, was Skipper hiding like lurking behind the keyboards on one of these accounts? If you can say, if you can't say, you can't confirm nor deny, but possible.
Well, I will say this. I have a lot of Instagram accounts. I will
Mm,
say that.
okay. Okay.
Um, but yeah. I will say this. There was one that did get blown up. And like it was me and two other guys. This page no longer exists. But yes, there has been one confirmed page of some memes getting thrown
I, I kind of
up.
I kind of figured that like when I see a guy who's making reels or something like that or making memes, I'm like this guy definitely or like on Facebook it's a big thing like when guys use the picture for attention like on Swimbait Universe something looking for a bait and it's like a meme that they made. I'm like this guy's on to something. This guy like has a shit burner page and he's posting up all these memes and tagging people and doesn't follow himself, doesn't follow the actual page, is completely oblivious to these memes that are getting posted, but he definitely has his hand in the ringer there. So I just saw my opportunity and I had to ask that. Allegedly, you may have had your hand in some of them per se. Who knows? We can't tell for sure. But yeah, that's funny that you say that because I could just maybe not tell, but I had an idea. I'm like, yeah, this guy's been doing this before. He's been doing it under an alias, I think.
Yeah, I believe it or not, like I have a multiple Instagram pages and like TikTok pages that I've built like insane followings with. I used to do a lot of motorcycle content.
Mm.
And I have like I've those pages. I have a fitness page that was out there. I do a lot of fitness stuff. And then there are like two other fishing accounts that are floating around and really strange. Nobody from like my Instagram has really found any
Mm.
of that content, which is like kind of wild because you would think, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, kids have photos of me when I was like in like middle school. Like I
Mm.
get people who send me photos of like family photos I haven't even seen. It's kind of weird. And the fact that no one has sent me anything else from any of my other pages is pretty hilarious. But
That is actually crazy. See, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like prior to the whole podcast media side of things, I had a personal fishing page that's completely public. Dude, when I was a little kid, I would just like start another Instagram page like every other week. So there's like 25 pages with my name on it. I mean, guys will find them if they really want to. But yeah, same boat as you. Like just a lot of different avenues. My TikTok got really big because I was into car photography, and so there'll be guys who will message me and they'll be like, oh, this is such a cool car. I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And they'll send me a picture that I took from 4 or 5 years ago that I posted on TikTok. I'm like, this guy was scrolling for a while to find that picture. Good for you guys, dude. I mean, I can't imagine you're like right around 100, if not above 100,000 on Instagram alone. So, dude, you probably got some sleuth detectives that are just stalking you, just sending you shit posting you in the DMs, just like you said, some random pictures that you haven't seen since seventh grade or something crazy like that. That's insane.
yeah, I had a kid like 2 months ago. He went to he found my dad's Instagram, then he found like my grandfather's Instagram, and then found like a birthday photo from like 2009. And he kept spamming that in my comment section on TikTok.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
just sat there for a second. It was like, I think it's funny that like it happened, but at the same time, like right now, there could be somebody scrolling through that much stuff and all
Yeah.
that information, trying to find a photo of me. And we're just sitting here, chatting,
Yeah, yeah.
talking, there's someone just living their life trying to find that. Like, why? Like,
Dude, some like reverse psyop stuff. Anytime somebody comments that, you need to go on their page, find their mom's page. Like just you need to reverse Uno card their asses. Just scroll for a while on their mom's page and post a picture of them holding like their first bass or something that got posted. Just completely like flip the cards on them. They would, dude, if somebody did that to me and I clap back with a picture like that, dude, that would be the funniest thing ever. I could not even imagine.
oh yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I tend not to like play into any of like the hate comments and whatnot. It's not like, I mean, I don't care. You say whatever you want. But I do think it's funny because like I'll respond like like once or twice like a week to some hate comments, and they always rather get instantly deleted
Mm.
because like kids don't want to get ratioed or something, or like they get super embarrassed and then they're just like, "Oh man, I'm sorry, it wasn't a shot," and I'm like, "Okay." Like I never take anything personal,
Yeah.
but it's definitely funny to see the reactions.
Right, right. We've had some like pretty big guys on before, like Mike Gilbert from Working Class Zero. His big thing is he doesn't read the comments, good or bad, just doesn't associate with them, which I can definitely understand from that viewpoint. But I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, what do you guys not like about me so I can keep doing it, or I can call you out or something like that? That's the most fun. Do you like notice that? I mean, I assume that you probably see a lot of people that you're familiar with or that are familiar with you on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like out fishing or, just out and about doing your daily life. Do you ever like see anybody and you're like, that guy, like that kid had definitely talked shit about me before? Like, is it that small of a community where you run across people who like you've seen in your comments before and they're like glazing you in public?
Yes,
That's
this actually
crazy.
happened. This actually happened. I think on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. There was a kid who had been like talking crazy in my comment sections for a while and yada yada yada. And like I had seen his name pop up a couple of times, so I just DM'd him and I told him straight up. I was like, "Hey man, like I'm not gonna sit here and like beef with you in like comment sections. I'm like, we both live in the same city. I know where you work. Like, what's up?" So I actually ended up showing up to his work, and I didn't know that like he was actually there. My friend knew that he worked at this establishment, so
Mm.
we went to go get a pizza, and the kid busts like tables, and we walked in, and I just like looked at him, and like he was in the middle of busting a table, took his stuff and went to the back. So that was like that happened like 6 months ago, and then on Sunday, I saw him at the boat ramp, and
Mm.
the boat ramp was super packed. And there was only like five slips that were there. Four of them were taken, and I saw him coming in to dock his boat so he could grab his truck. So I walked down the dock and I stood like right there where he was.
Mm.
I just stared at him, and like he was like looking at me, and like he'd look away, like look back at me, look away, look back at me, and then I just looked at him. And was like, "Hey, what's up, dude? You need some help, docking your boat?" And he was like, "Oh no, Skipper, no, dude, I'm all good, man. Love your vids." Like total switch up. And it's like all these like 99% of the people, they feel so safe behind like, text and stuff. But I've actually never had a single bad instance of anybody ever like coming up and saying something negative to me,
Mm.
anyone ever trying to like, run a fade or nothing. Like so, I mean, I'm glad for that part, but um, yeah, I definitely have seen a couple kids like that who definitely switched up.
Yeah, yeah. When you post like maybe a like an insane video or reel or Instagram or Instagram video whatever else it may be, do you notice that the comments become more and more unhinged depending on the content you post? Like if you post like just something that you're like you hit post and you're like this might get taken down or this might get like shadow banned. Like do you know like that brings some people into the comments that maybe don't usually comment or kind of keep it a little more tame on other posts? Have you noticed that before?
Absolutely.
Mm.
I have definitely on those videos where you're like, man, I shouldn't do this. Yeah, it gets really wild. And that's like one of my favorite things because, since I don't do this as a profession, I get to be as lenient, say what I want, do what I want. I don't really have any restrictions or whatnot. And that's really nice. But unfortunately, I've now had to start being a little more timid just because I've gotten some amazing opportunities to work with some companies and whatnot. But luckily, I haven't. None of them have asked me to not post that
Mm.
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But just I kind of just do it because it's like a respect, like a mutual respect kind of thing. Like I wouldn't want somebody sitting at a PR meeting and be like, "Oh, this is one of our reps," and then me, just doing some heinous activity. But yeah, the comments definitely get real funny, especially whenever I make fun of anytime I make fun of like live bait people,
Yeah.
that or like live scopers,
Mm.
I get some just crazy comments. It's hilarious.
Do you notice like TikTok or Instagram, one or the other is more Wild West, like guys just get away or they just speak their mind a lot more. I would guess maybe TikTok is a lot more off the cuff, whatever guys want to say, they're gonna say it.
Um, Honestly, like it's kind of reverse. I feel like Instagram, you definitely can say a lot more. Now, like TikTok will ban like hide comments
Mm.
for like anything. I mean, like somebody put like three fire emojis on one of my videos and like it got put in the hidden comments. And I was like, what? And then I log into Instagram and people are dropping every slur
Yeah.
imaginable and just like, okay, yeah, man, right on.
Yeah, just not even flagged. That's like the highlighted comment for some reason. That's what gets pushed up to the top on Instagram.
Yes.
Just some absolutely unhinged people out there. Do you notice like when you post like like your YouTube videos, the video I watch is like very serious, informative. You're going out there filming like a long form content. It's not necessarily for the laughs. It's just kind of a document style video to show you're going out there and doing that. Do you notice that like guys just bring the unhinged comments to that or like they'll repost it on their story and just like say heinous things, or is it pretty does that seem like it attracts a different crowd, or maybe guys realize that maybe that's not the place for that sort of jargon compared to like the Instagram reels?
For sure, and definitely. I think anytime like I post a video, like you can pretty much tell in the first like 45 seconds what kind of video it's going to be. And I've never like really posted too many like very serious videos per se. And as much as I do like all the laughing, memes and jokes and banter and whatnot, aside from that, like, like fishing is like my hobby and like chasing giants and doing it at the highest best level I can is very serious to me. So I do try to post some solid-ish videos, because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who make these meme pages and they do all this stuff and they talk the talk, but when it comes to fishing itself, they're just low-key kind of ass.
Hmm.
And it's like, I don't want to be known as the jokester. I want to be known as the guy who, can catch some slab fish, but also is like a bro and is not, just a dude standing on the front of a boat, just being a dork, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Are you ever deterred from the fact of like posting like a high quality video like your 7 day trip? Like, are you do you ever like prioritize the Instagram reels, like getting the laughs and maybe getting the interactions like that rather than putting out that style video? Or like, I mean, I guess you kind of mentioned it earlier, like whatever you feel like you want to do, that's just what you're going to do. And you're not really, held to one thing or the other, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I like, how can I, hmm. I I like making people like interact with posts. I think it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because like I oftentimes think that like I'm really stupid and the jokes I make are really stupid, but then I post them and a lot of people like them.
Yeah.
So that I really do enjoy. I'm not really too ever like I've never been like, all right, tomorrow I'm gonna go out and make the most cinematic
Mm.
thing ever. I feel like, and this is just my honest take. Of course, I'm not throwing shade at anybody here or discrediting anybody, but for me, like fishing is like it's my way of just like having fun. Like I don't go to parties anymore. Like I'm not a big bar guy. I don't have a nightlife, and like I go out and fish and I have fun. And I don't ever want to take away from that like fun because I have to go set up a camera and shoot 27 different angles,
Yeah.
fly a drone around. Like I just feel like I'd be so focused on the production of what I'm doing than just going and having fun and doing it. I go on a lot of trips where I have all my camera gear. We'll start fishing and I won't even touch the camera box. I won't even record something. And
Yeah.
it's just like I I definitely would. I would just rather have fun doing it, and if I get some good clips of it, if I can make something out of it, cool, whatever. But never has it ever been like a mega priority.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it's more of a like a generic video, or not generic, genuine video rather than like a blockbuster film that you're trying to film in S-Log 3 and in color grade and just make not necessarily over the top, but maybe not exactly what you look for when you're making a video compared to some of these other guys who really prioritize like the look and the angles like you mentioned and the cuts and all the storytelling and all this stuff. You're kind of it seems like more throw on the GoPro, miss a big fish, maybe pull out the big camera, talk to the big camera for a second, put it back in the box, turn the GoPro back on it and keep casting. It's just that's what I picked up from watching a couple of your videos. Maybe that's kind of how you feel, or maybe you can put a twist on that. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth. I don't know, but that's just kind of the sense I got from watching your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's a time and a place for everything. And I just, for me, like a lot of my videos are filmed in a canal that is literally like pissing distance from my house.
Yeah.
And there's not like a story to tell there. I can't be like, all these crazy, I mean, like, dude, I'm walking 15 feet to go
Yeah.
throw a paddleboard in a canal and I'm going to go sight cast tarpon. And I mean, like, if there was ever a time in which, like I had a lot of downtime and I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. Like I have all the equipment, I got all the editing software and the lenses and blah, 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 and I could definitely do it. But I think there's just a time and a place for everything. I think if I do a trip for say like to another state or I'm traveling next year, I have a trip planned for something like that. Yeah, I think I would take a little more serious just because, that's something special. That's something
Yeah.
that deserves that kind of attention. But I feel like, for instance, I watched a crappie video the other day, and this guy is like, had the most crazy 2 minute intro of him, just flipping a pancake into a boat. And I'm like, this guy spent an hour and a half getting crappie clips. Like,
Rendering this. Yeah.
I guess if that's your thing, go for it. But
Yeah.
like, man, dude, like Michael Bay film for a crappie, but time and place, time and place.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of that's the way I see it too. Like if I'm filming a video for myself, like going out to fish, it's pull out the big camera, do the 35, 40-second intro, put the big camera away, run the GoPro the whole rest of the day. Whereas if I go out and film for Jeffrey or film for Marshall, like at that point in time, it's like, okay, this is like this I'm getting paid to tell a story, so this big camera's not going to leave my hands until I get back on the plane. So there's definitely two sides of the coin, and it it's interesting. Like, yeah, I love being behind the camera and like doing all the editing and stuff. But when it's my shit, I'm like, no, GoPro Hero 8, loop it, cut it, call it good, post it. Like that's exactly how I feel. It's just it's interesting. Like when I'm with people, like if I came down and fished with you, like I would be so sold on filming for you because I don't know, like when I'm fishing with somebody, I want to like tell the story, but when I'm fishing, it's like I just want to watch it back for myself on my phone. Like I don't need to try to get other people to watch the video. I just want to see it for myself, see what I did wrong or just, look back on it at some point in time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that and another thing is like I said, like time and place. Like there's a lot of times when I feel like, especially with me, like I've gone and filmed videos with a lot of people, and like getting some of those shots for like other people's awesome. Like I love filming for other like local dudes who are like our charter captains and whatnot. I've done a bunch of videos for like tarpon guys and it's for real. Like I sit here and I get all these crazy shots of tarpon and la da 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 da, and I go out myself and I'm like, dude, I just hook it on the GoPro and I just let it run. It's like when the fish gets to the boat, if I can grab the big camera and get a shot, cool. If I can't, it stays in the water. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm the same way, man.
When you film like if it's like a video of you talking for like an Instagram reel or something like that, are you I mean, I think I kind of know the answer. Are you busting out your big camera, color grade it and everything, or you just set up your phone, press record, do it, and then just stop it and edit it on your phone? Like what's the walk us through if you have a funny idea and you got to kind of play out a skit, how are you going about that?
So, it honestly, I would say it depends on like the, I would say like how detailed I have to be. Like if I'm sitting here like making a 5 second long like shit post,
Yeah,
I'm just using the phone.
right, right.
If there's something where there's like different camera angles involved, most of the time, like I'll literally use my phone. But anything that like is at the desk for the most part, I do use the big camera just because I've noticed that the algorithm does really well with like higher quality content. I don't know if there was like I know TikTok for sure, like
Yeah.
If I post a video that was filmed on my camera versus my phone, I'll make like an extra 20, $30 per video
Mhm.
just because it was a higher quality, video. Um, so I have started to do that a little bit more here and there. But no, I mean, I didn't buy that camera until I hit like 85,000 on Instagram. So I mean, like I've been rocking my iPhone and a GoPro Hero 8 for the past 3 years.
Right.
And I mean, it works. So
What do you have now in FX3?
I have an FX30,
30. Okay.
and then I have another Sony. I have a Sony, I have another like A series
Mm.
camera, and then I'm about to switch over to all the DJI
Yep.
cameras. I cannot. The GoPros are just not it. I just ran into so many issues, and
Mhm.
they overheat like crazy.
Yeah.
The batteries suck, and the DJI also has like the really good microphone accessories.
Mhm.
So filming stuff is going to be way easier for on my end. So I'm looking forward to that. Maybe someone can give me a Christmas present this year.
There you go. Yeah, I'd seen your camera in that 7-day video, and I couldn't tell if it was the FX30 or the FX3. They're kind of both pretty similar, but I'm like, that's definitely an FX, one of them, whichever one it was. So that was pretty cool. When, I guess, like when you're going out to fish, do you always plan on filming, or is it just kind of like, I think the fishing's going to be good today, I'll throw on the GoPro, or is it like every time you go out, you at least have the GoPro on, like just for yourself?
So honestly, I do so much fishing that is not recorded at all. I do a lot of like offshore trips. I've gone on like probably 10 offshore trips this last year.
Damn.
I've never once made a video out of it. I don't, for me, like, and this is a hot take, but like offshore fishing to me, like I personally cannot sit down and watch an offshore fishing video. I just can't watch somebody just send down a chicken rig and catch a snapper.
Yeah.
If it's something like crazy, like they're casting like top water plugs at tuna or like marl, it's like cool stuff like that. Yeah, I would record, but I mean, for the most part, I just do a lot of snapper and grouper fishing. Of course, we get like unicorns, you'll get, big APs or permit, but that's never promised. And lugging all that camera gear out there and doing all that stuff, it's really not worth it. I have tried to at least take the GoPro, at least now when I'm glide bait fishing. When I first started doing it, I never ever like just always recorded. But I found that like even on those like random like I have a 45-minute break from work. I
Mhm.
can run over to this canal and cast, 6 times. I have found that so many times I've been out doing that and I've missed a massive opportunity on a fish, or I have caught a massive fish in which I wish I was recording.
Mhm.
And I think that I have so much content too that I will never post,
Yeah.
which is really fun. I mean, I have so much stuff. It's great to have friends who you can like come over to your house and you can be like, yo, look, I edited this 30-minute compilation of all my fails, all the highlights,
Yeah.
the crazy fish we've been trying to catch for 3 years at our most secret spot. And you can sit there and have a beer and have a good time.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, nowadays I'm trying to record as much as possible when it comes to the glide bait, but anything else, not really now.
Right. Yeah. Are you primarily fishing glide baits now, or is it just kind of come and go with the seasons? Like if they're eating bigger stuff, that's kind of when you're picking up the glide bait, or is it kind of glued in your hands as of lately?
Um, yeah, so definitely I would say the glide bait has stuck in my hands just about 80% of the year. I would say the only time I'm really not fishing glide baits is like the dead of winter here, at least when it comes to snook. But luckily, like down here in Florida, I would say like no, I would say like 8 months out of the year, I'm snook fishing. 4 months out of the year, I'm bass fishing. Luckily, I can fish the glides for both species year round. But I try to switch it up as much as possible. Definitely seasonal. I've noticed like if I want to go catch tarpon, I'm throwing the micro baits. I'm always catching them on them. Then like right when we get cold, all the micro tarpon and all that stuff super finicky. It's not worth my time. I'm gonna go pick up the glide bait. Snook fishing is like there's two ways I snook fish. I do it obviously with the glide baits and like bigger like paddle tails and swim baits and whatnot. But that's just because I'm targeting those fish in completely different areas.
Mm.
And whatever, like if I look at the weather and I say, all right, we got a good tide, we got a good moon, yada yada yada. My best bet to catch a snook tonight is going to be on a glide bait. Then I'm going to go glide bait. If it's really good over here, I'm going to go throw the jig and a swim bait.
Mm.
So I try like I would say though, like me personally, like with the moon phases and the stuff that I um look for a lot. I definitely fish the glides way more than the paddle tails and the flare hawks now, at least.
Yeah. Are you like prioritizing your trips around like the weather conditions or kind of what it looks like the fishing is going to be? Or is you mentioned you just kind of fish a lot now, so is it just fish to fish, and if they can get it, if the conditions line up, this is what I'm going to fish, this is I'm going to try to do it.
Yeah, so I actually have a massive binder,
Mm.
and it is chock full of like probably 300 pages of every bit of information I have obtained in the last 3 years of glide bait fishing, snook fishing. And basically, at the beginning of the month, this might sound a little stupid, but at least it works for me. At the beginning of the month, I will look at a calendar. I'll look when the moon phases are, and I'll plan, certain types of fishing around the moon phase, and then any fronts that are coming through. Water temp is a big thing. So like right now, I know Monday is going to be my best day to go offshore fishing. I'm going to go out there. It'll be nice and calm, and then the very next day, it's supposed to be super rough and the conditions are perfect for bass. So one day, I'm offshore. The next day, I'm doing something completely different. And I have been very, very successful in like, marking spots. I mean, I have stuff down to like the week
Mm.
of, this spot's extremely good. This, the third cold front of the year. I know that once the water temp hits this degree, this pond is going to be firing off. And I mean, I don't think a whole lot of people do that, but I'm very pompous when it comes to that.
Yeah. This is something I was going to bring up earlier, like kind of going back to seeing people out in public and stuff. Is it, are you ever worried about kind of your online persona and people like just straight up spot burning you? Maybe not off the YouTube videos, but you had mentioned earlier, like putting up a compilation of you guys catching fish out of these really secret spots that you guys have. Are you worried to show up there and there be Tommy and Johnny over there fishing NLBNs, or kind of like, are you just like whatever happens, happens? I'm gonna go fish these spots because the conditions are right. I'm not gonna be worried about if somebody else is out there or sees me out there.
Yeah, so believe it or not, I wear completely different clothes a lot of the time when I go
Mm.
fishing. I
Mm.
dress up like a goober. I wear a buff. I have fished with people who have talked about me straight to my face, not knowing that it is me, at the bridges at night, which is hilarious. Um, I am super, super worried about blowing up spots.
Okay.
Unfortunately, down here where I am in Florida, spot burning is like forbidden. There's a lot of guys who are on YouTube who spot burn. And to be honest with you, bro, those guys are straight losers. I don't care who's watching, you're a loser. I have watched so many of my best fishing spots go from having, not a single sign that says no trespassing, no fishing, to full-time security, fences, and gates and cameras. And the reason for that is because people blow up spots. And a lot of people think that, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's, a spot to spot, a lot of da da da. But maybe it doesn't have a fact on the fishing per se, but the other like outcome is, dude, I walk into like my favorite spot as a kid and I can't make it 10 feet down the bank without somebody calling the cops on me because kids are stupid. And it's really sad. There's such an influx of kids who are getting into fishing. And there's only so many ponds, there's only so many fish, there's only so many golf courses that you can sneak onto. And all these kids do these really dumb things, stealing golf carts and driving them into the ponds, or stealing stuff out of the concession stands, or, just doing just stupid, stupid stuff.
Mhm.
And it ruins it for everybody. Luckily, I have been extremely good in blurring spots. A lot of my YouTube videos, I blur out as much stuff as possible, even nighttime fishing.
Mm.
And if there is anything that I have ever posted that you are able to see the background in, that is at a spot that is completely already blown out. I mean, it's rather a canal on the side of the road. It is a national park that is about to get shut down, stuff like that. But I take it very, very seriously, especially since I have such a large following of Florida people.
Yeah.
I did a 4th of July video where like I just posted on my story that like I was fishing 4th of July and I went out to this bridge. One kid saw me, like then 10 more kids came up and like said, "What's up?" And that very next night, like the night of 4th of July, there was about like 15 people on the bridge. And my buddy went to the same bridge on the 5th, and he said it was shoulder to shoulder. I mean, you couldn't even move. And it's like maybe I had a part in that, maybe I didn't. I mean, I was tagged in a bunch of stories. There was Instagram posts about it. Oh, the real
Yeah.
skippers out here fishing the bridge, yada yada yada. And it's like that sucks, dude, because like those kids are only there because they saw me and to the local guys who fish that bridge nonstop. It sucks. Like nobody wants to go out to their favorite fishing spot and have 40 people out there now.
Yeah.
Like it sucks. So I take it very seriously. I try to hide it as best as I can. And I like I said, like I fish a lot that I'll never post, and that's because of the spot burning.
Yeah, that was the next question I was gonna be is are you ever like my big thing is I'm discouraged to post videos because there's local guys around me who will don't know about these spots and they'll go up and fish these spots. I've messed up before and I've talked about stuff on the podcast and the next year there's just all sorts of people there fishing these places. And so that's like a big if guys wonder why I always get asked, why don't you post more like of your personal cast catches? Like don't you want somebody messaged me the other day, a couple months ago, and they're like, "Don't you want like validation? Like, how do people know you know what you're talking about? Like, you never post your cast catches. You don't. We only ever hear you talk about your fish. Like, well, if this is episode 208. If there's people listening that for 208 episodes and don't think I know what I'm talking about, then I don't know what to tell them. I'm not one video I don't think is gonna persuade somebody to think I know what I'm talking about. Like, dude, I have some videos. Like, I have days up here in Michigan where I went out and I caught three fish for like 18 pounds. Like that's stuff that I'm not posting a bunch of 6 pounders because you can tell the whole time where I am. And it's like, I cannot do that to myself. I don't care if it gets, you know, 100,000 views on Instagram or YouTube rather. No, that is not worth it to me. I cannot do that to myself because I've seen it happen before, much like it sounds like you've seen it happen too. And it's just like, dude, there's like, it's a gut feeling, like a gut wrenching feeling to be like, damn, I'm not going to be able to fish that place for a couple of years, if ever, if they ever take down like these no trespassing signs or, people forget about this spot or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've had a couple people who also who have messaged me at saying stuff just like that. And another funny thing is I get people who will message me and be like, "You talk so much about not spot burning, and yet every single Instagram post, like every photo, you have the entire background exposed." Which let me break that down. There's two things. One, you're an idiot because every single photo that I have on my Instagram, every photo, there's not a single photo on Instagram with the background that is the actual spot.
Mm.
I Photoshop every single background. I mean, I had some guy who commented, he's like, blowing up my favorite spot for a little peacock. It wasn't a little peacock. It was a 7 pounder, by the way. But the background had like red spruce trees from like California. Like we don't even have those in Florida. And this guy's out here like, oh, you're fishing in my spot. And it's like, I'm glad that I can fool people to
Yeah.
think that I am exposing spots because the spots that like I grab Google images from all over the place
Mm.
and those are my backgrounds. And still people are like, I don't know. It's pretty funny. I enjoy it. It makes me glad that I'm doing a good job. That people are fully convinced that I'm somewhere else, but
Yeah, dude, that's funny. You should just mess with people and post like a bridge that's blown up, like just a well-known bridge. Maybe the fishing's not good. Just like post a selfie there like 3 nights after you were there and just go and watch, just go sit in the bushes the next night just to see how many people show up, how many rappers or how many like packages of NLBN you guys see the next morning, like just something crazy, just like a little social experiment to see how fast word gets around down there in Florida and more so on the fishing Instagram in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I did a trip in Sebastian Inlet like a year ago. We were there for 3 days, and one kid, I will never do this again. One kid was like, "Oh, I know you're not from around here. Like, are you here for the day?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to be here for 3 days." And he was the only kid that I told that to. And the next 2 days that we were at Sebastian Inlet, it was just nonstop. I didn't even fish the last day. There was so many people like trying to talk, which is very strange to me. I don't know. Like, I get that like I have a mass, like a large following, but like I'm just a dude.
Hmm.
I'm literally like I am nothing special. I'm just a dude who posts, dumb videos, and that's that, like um it's very strange. I did that NLBN meetup and all these, fans and whatnot. It's just very surreal. I talk to anybody, I'll say what's up to anybody. Um, but very maybe I don't know. I don't think I'm anything like too special. I'm just a
Right.
dude. There was
Yeah.
big baits and swim trick. I throw my big baits in the trees nonstop.
Yeah.
I snap off lures all the time.
Mhm.
My knots break,
Yeah. Yeah. I
but
think I understand that like younger kid, we'll just call it a mentality because I'm blanking on a word here. But like, well, dude, when I was younger and I would watch a Mike Gilbert video, or especially like growing up watching Jeffrey's videos, like out in Arizona, him catching fish and him having like 15,000 subscribers at the time. Like I just remember watching that stuff, thinking it was the coolest thing ever. And then fast forward 6 or 7 years, and now like I talk to these guys, I go out and I film for Jeffrey, and I was like wow, this is such a like a surreal experience to realize like Jeffrey's a normal guy, Mike Gilbert's a normal guy. Like you don't see that from the outside in because you see the numbers and you're just perplexed, you just blown away that this guy has generated a following doing something that I enjoy. Like he's got to be the best at it. He's got to be the coolest person alive. Then you talk to somebody, you're like, wow, this guy is literally just a dude who fishes 4 days out of the week, has a normal 9 to 5 job, eats dinner with his family every night and just makes YouTube videos. Like, okay, this guy is literally just like me. He just has been doing this and has like been able to monetize it or been able to collect a following. Like it's looking back on it now, it's silly to think about, but when I was 13, 14 years old, I thought that these guys were on the Mount Rushmore because they had 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers on Instagram. And then you kind of, like I said, you come to a realization, you meet somebody for the first time. Like if somebody meets you and they're like, oh, wow, Skipper's just a guy. He's not cracking jokes the whole time. Like he's like carrying on a meaningful conversation, talking about a snook trip he just went on or giving me pointers. Like, okay, this guy's cool and all, but he's like one of my buddies. Like I think that's a very like when somebody realizes that, I think it's a very big turning point for a lot of people. And dude, there's people that are 30 years old and haven't come to that turning point yet. So I mean, I can't say that it happens to everybody, but when it does happen, it's kind of like a eureka moment. It's like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense now. These guys are just normal dudes.
yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite like interactions I've ever had was a guy came up to I was eating lunch and this guy sat down next to me. He's like, "Hey, you're that guy who makes those videos, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I post, stupid fishing stuff. He's like, "Cool, man." And we had like a full 3-minute conversation. And at the very end, he's like, "I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated your guts when I sat down." He's like, I thought you were gonna be the biggest douchebag. I thought you were gonna be so like self-centered and yada yada yada. And bro, you're just a dude. And I was like, oh, thanks. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm just a dude. Like, I don't know. I see it a lot, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, there's a lot of these YouTubers. I can't speak for all of them, but I would say like a lot of the guys that I have met, low key, really are like super like big douchebags. Like they think that they're they're God, like they're just so special. Like, and it's very like interesting because people say like, oh yeah, I'm a famous fisherman, and it's like that's right, you're a famous fisherman. You're not John Travolta, you're not Frank Sinatra, you're not Tupac. Like you're just a dude who
Yeah.
fishes. Like like let's be real here, like we all enjoy the same hobby, we all do the same thing. Like, I don't yeah, sure, I get, I got some cool rides, I got a little boat, but like, dude, whatever, man. Like I just went fish with two kids on Sunday, and like never met him a day in my life. Dude, spent the whole day offshore with these kids, and honestly, it was a really fun time and really interesting to see like how I think when they first met me, they were like kind of like shy, and didn't know what to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But like after like 2 minutes of shooting the shit with them, it's like, dude, we were cracking jokes, we were having the time of our lives out there,
Mhm.
catching snapper and whatnot. So I really like that. I wish more people would like. I mean, I don't think I have a whole lot of haters, but to the ones that are, I wish like just come say what's up, man. Like I'm not a douchebag. I'm a nice guy.
Right.
I know I talk a lot of shit on Instagram, but
Do you ever run across guys who you're out fishing a bridge or, whatever else it may be, kind of like that interaction you just talked about, but genuinely have no idea who you are, like don't have social media or maybe only post their fishing pictures and they're talking to you and like maybe they have a eureka moment or their kid's like, "Oh, dad, like I watch this kid on YouTube or whatever else it may be." Like, do you have many interactions like that or is it primarily a lot of people come up and talk to you because they're familiar with you and kind of know your content and stuff?
I would say most of the people just come up and say what's up most of the time, but I have had two instances where it was really late at night. This kid caught a snook. He didn't have a net, and I don't think he was like even thinking he was going to catch a snook that big, but he ended up catching like a 38 and a half, and he didn't know what to do. So I ran over there with my net. And net this kid's fish. I'm like, yo, you want a picture? He's like, yeah, sure. So like I take a photo of it for him and blah, 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 blah. And he's like, yo, could you send me
Oh, yeah.
the fish on Instagram? And I was like, yeah, dude, sure. Like, whatever. What's your Instagram? And he's like, oh, it's like 239 Outback Outdoors or whatever. And like I send this and like he gets the notification and it just screams. He's like, holy shit. He's like, no way. I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, I just had Skipper net my snook. Let's go. What's up, dude? Like that was hilarious. I love that. It was definitely another one of my favorite interactions.
That's pretty cool. It's cool that it's when it's a wholesome experience like that. Like you're not getting bitched out or something and somebody realizes who you are after the fact or whatever else it may be. Like that's an experience that
Yeah.
I that kid probably will never forget that. I'm sure he went home and told all his boys that he met Skipper and Skipper netted. Skipper's the best net man I've ever had, guys, type beat.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I guess is there ever a point in time where you see yourself focusing more on the long form stuff? Like not to like get into numbers or anything, but do you maybe see a future where it's more profitable or maybe a full-time gig like just doing long form stuff and you can see yourself moving maybe not directly into that direction, but kind of leaning a little bit more towards the Instagram stuff rather than the TikTok and Instagram videos?
Yeah, I think, like longevity wise, if I ever do decide to make, fishing my full-time career,
Yeah.
those types of videos obviously do a lot better for like money wise.
Yeah.
Um, but one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to oversaturate my content with nothing but long form content. I enjoy having a video I can put on while I'm doing like laundry or like cleaning my fishing room out here. I can throw on the TV and
Hmm.
I can just listen to somebody in the background, just doing whatever, saying whatever, and like laughing um and I don't want all my content to be something like I make people feel like you gotta sit down and lock in and
Yeah.
like etch out an hour and a half long trip.
Hmm. What do you think, like, kind of being I guess, first question, what do you consider yourself? Like, do you cringe when guys say, "Oh, Skipper, you're a content creator, you're an influencer," kind of what do you call yourself? Because I call myself something and I hate myself. Like, dude, influencer pisses me off. I do not call me an
I,
influencer. That is the cringiest thing ever. I had somebody come up to me the other day. They're like, "Oh, you're a fishing influencer, right? Like I heard from so and so." And I'm like, "No. No, I don't know who told you that, but they're a liar. I'm not an influencer. I'm like I don't know. What do you prefer to be called? Like if you had to put a title to yourself, like what's the go-to?
Um, I honestly, I just say I'm a dude all
Yeah.
the time.
Right.
It's well, I'm a dude. I hate the word influencer. I hate the term YouTuber.
Mm.
It's very like I don't know, like I fish, man. Like I
Yeah.
feel like influencer comes with like the TikTok dances
Yeah.
and like stupid trends and what. Dude, I'm out here like I'm hitting the tar pen, cussing up a storm, throwing, giant lures into trees, cussing at the world.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an influencer, man, like but yeah, I've always said I'm just a dude.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so based off of that, like what's one or like when you sit down and watch a YouTube video, like for you to be a guy who knows what goes into a YouTube video to the hours to edit it and film it and like the drive to go do it, what's like one thing you watch on YouTube and it's like a complete turn off for you? You're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this guy, whether it was filmed a 90-minute video and didn't catch a single fish, or like what's like one thing you see and you like maybe not like a turn off, but it kind of makes you cringe a little bit like, wow, this guy did XYZ. I cannot believe that even crossed his mind in this video.
Yeah, stuff like the 2 minute long crazy dubstep EDM crappie video intro. That stuff like that just sends me. I'm just like, wow, I just watched your entire 47-minute long video in 5 seconds. Okay, I can click off of it.
Yeah.
That's and I mean, I hate, and I mean hate with a passion, the extremely overdone storytelling documentaries of things that like just do not need
Mm,
that type of ordeal.
yeah.
I don't like uh, I just when you make the content and you say, okay, this guy went and has a shot of him driving down the road at 60 miles an hour. Like this guy stopped the truck, put a camera down, did a U-turn, another U-turn, drove 60 miles an hour past a camera with a boat to do another U-turn to come get his camera to then do another. I mean, that's 25 minutes of driving and doing stupid stuff to get one or two shots of your car to then go down to the boat ramp and you
Fish a
film
farm pond
a
or something.
bird, you
Yeah.
film and you film like like the boat signs and a little fiddler crab running across the mangrove branch, and then you see the guy, and he literally is casting a spoon at Spanish mackerel.
Mm,
Like why like that to me, like I get storytelling. I think there's a place for storytelling, but when you're storytelling for things that need absolutely no story to be told, why do it? I'm sorry. I just if you're like hunting permit on flats with fly and like you're on land, like you don't even have a boat, okay, storytell, that's cool,
yeah.
you were actually that's hardcore. But no, I don't like no Michael Bay crappie videos for me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What's like one thing you see in a YouTube video that kind of like hooks you or you're kind of like intent on finishing the video? Like whether it's I don't know. I guess I don't really want to mention anything. Like, what's something that you see and you're like, okay, like that's pretty sick. Whether it's like big fish or I don't know. I guess like what locks Skipper into a YouTube video?
I'd say probably just genuine stuff.
Mm,
I mean, just real, authentic. Like I see a lot of times I see videos of guys who like everything is so perfect. Like like you watch this video, like, oh my gosh, this guy's a perfectionist. And it's like what you don't see is him, casting into a tree 25 times in a row. Like you don't see that. And
yeah.
like when somebody will make fishing a fishing video, how fishing is supposed to be, like that is I love that. I love when I can relate to somebody. I love when I can feel like I'm watching my boy on the TV and not, Terry Crews on America's Got Talent. I totally different feel.
Yeah. So the common thing I've seen in guys who are bigger in the fishing scene is a lot of them like dude, a lot of us, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth like I've said before, but like a lot of people do not watch fishing videos. If you make fishing videos or are bigger in the fishing world, fishing media is just not something you plug into because it's just like I don't know. Like, is that the same for you? Like, do you plug into different avenues of like media consumption outside of the fishing world?
Yes, absolutely. I don't think I'll be honest here. The only YouTubers I watch on Insta or on Instagram on YouTube are Jeffrey. I watch Jeffrey, I watch Lawson Lindsay, and I watch another kid who I'm gonna gatekeep. I shouldn't gatekeep. I'll repost something tomorrow. He's just a dude. And like he's not like he doesn't have any special cameras. He doesn't do any B-roll. He literally just is like a 16, 17-year-old kid, like, what's up, guys? Today we're throwing a tiny clash. And he walks around the pond and he throws a tiny clash. I love it because the kid is just having fun. He's not there's not like an advertisement. He's not pushing something. I mean, it's just a little kid having fun. And I love that. I watch a lot of like overseas videos
Mm.
of stuff that's like old school Japanese swim bait videos. I love watching those. But for the most part, dude, I hate just about everything that gets put out like fishing wise because like it's just when you get in like into the industry and like you meet these people and these companies, like you just see it from such a different like toxic view, and it's like it's just gross. And another thing too is like if I want to experience fishing, I'm not going to watch somebody do what I could be doing. Like I can walk down to the pond and go fish.
Mhm.
Sit at home for 45 minutes, watch somebody else catch a fish, or I can go fish for 45
Yeah,
minutes. I'm going to go fish for 45 minutes.
right.
That's just my personal thing.
Yeah, yeah. I think the big thing, like you said, kind of understanding how the scene works and like watching these videos and this guy like saying something and you're like, wait a minute, like hold on. I know that they sent out a gajillion things to a gajillion people and this guy's playing it off like he's the only person that has this product. Like, no, you're just the first one to post a video about it, dude. Like they hit me up and I said I don't want that. And it's like I don't know. I think it's like you said, the genuine thing, like guys like hype to be a quote unquote fishing YouTube creator is the best job ever, and I get all this free stuff and I get the best stuff, and you guys need to watch it so you can go buy it because I'm trying to be an influencer. Like that is when it's very hard to, I mean, to stomach a video or to start a video, and you can like. I hate to say it, but you can tell when that intro starts. Like, I mean, your EDM crappie. Like, you can tell when a video starts, like what you're getting yourself into, and like how this next 18-minute video is gonna play out just by the course of how the first 30 seconds is.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think like there, unfortunately, like for guys who want to make this a living, and another thing that has really kind of steered me away for say for doing this as a living is that fact of like people trying to sell you products, people trying to push products and promote stuff and like it nobody wants to see it. But unfortunately, like if let's just let's just use Lawson Lindsay for an example. Lawson, if you're watching this, I love you. Lawson has a family, dude. Like Lawson has kids, a wife, a house, and he has to put food on a table. And yeah, nobody really wants to watch a 30-second long, clip of an advertisement, but it's like that 30 seconds is allowing Lawson to not only provide for his family, but to also create this content. So I do think there is like a bitter, there's definitely a fine line, and I think not a lot of people understand that. But I definitely think that there are times when it goes too far. And, like for me, like I have a full-time job. I don't have to sit here and throw discount codes at people. I don't have to make content that's like sponsored by Yozuri Fishing Tackle. Like I do what I want. And not only that, like what I do in my videos, for instance, like I try to talk about all the rods and the gear or any like sponsorship stuff at the very end of the video. So if you don't want to watch it, dude, you can click right off.
Yeah.
Like I've never wanted to like force that kind of stuff to people because I know how I am myself. Like I don't want to sit there and watch it. Everybody skips through the ads or it is what it is. But I it's it is hard. It is very, very hard. And I don't like watching people who sit there and, like, I don't say this, sorry, but like Fishaholic, fantastic YouTuber, nice guy, got nothing negative to say, but like one of his videos I watched the other day, he was like, "What's up, fishaholics? Today we're going to be fishing the fishaholic swim shad and fishaholic gray color." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wow!" Like that threw me for a loop. I was like, "Wow, okay." Like, I mean, hey, if it's paying your bills, it is what if it's what you have to do to make a living, all right. But like, I just don't want I don't want to personally have to do that. And until I can find a way that I can continue creating genuine content that's not pushing products, and I get paid solely off the numbers of views and interactions, I shall stay at my 9 to 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the way if I have to go about it to promote something, make a video, make a 18-minute video, fish this rod the whole video, pin a couple of good fish on it, land the fish, be like, "Oh yeah." And then at the end, like you said, "Hey, this rod was sent to me by this company. You guys can pick yourself up one at the website." Maybe I'll do another video going a little bit more in depth, but you guys got to see the rod in action. Like, give it some genuine input before you try to plug the sponsorship stuff. Like, go out and fish with this reel and show me just bullying a 40-inch snook in. Like, show me that this thing's badass and make me want to get one before I know that it's supporting you or that you're gonna make 3 cents off the transaction, whatever else it may be. Like, that's where I think guys who do it right, like when Lawson has something to promote, he'll briefly say, "Oh, so and so sent me this reel." He'll fish two, three, four videos with it, and then be like, "Hey, uh, really like these. They've held up really good. This is where you guys can go pick yourself up one at." End of story. You see him fish with it for the next 25 videos. Like, it's like when it's genuine, going back to that genuine thing, like when it's genuine content and genuine stokeness, that's not a word, but when somebody's stoked for a product and they put it through the ringer and it like sells itself prior to them having to put their stamp of approval on it, like that, I think that goes so much further with at least guys who know how the fishing industry works. Maybe not the normal, quote unquote, normal viewer, the 14, 15-year-old who wants to buy everything that their favorite YouTuber has, but like guys who have a 9 to 5 and have to be a little bit more money wise because they have bills or a family. They're like, okay, like looks like a pretty badass reel. Like, hopefully he links it down and oh, he's sponsored by him. That's cool. Give him a couple dollars when I buy this reel. Like, I think that goes a lot further with a lot more people than it doesn't.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I believe it or not, like a lot of people watch my videos and don't know, but I am sponsored by so many of these companies.
Mm,
And the way that I have these promotions, like when I get a contract sent to me or I sign, an agreement, I never ever promote something if I don't genuinely enjoy it, if I don't absolutely love it, and it like my thing is I don't want to promote something to my audience that is crap and they're going to waste their money on. Because when that happens, then it's just like, dude, I trusted you and now I got screwed so you can make a couple bucks.
yeah.
Anything that anybody sees in any of my videos is because I love it. I continue to fish it. I like it. And if I didn't want to, I wouldn't be.
Hmm.
I haven't, unfortunately, I had a really bad run in with a company who, they literally sent me a script, dude. Like I had
Mm.
an email, a 3-page email. It was like, all right, so we're gonna send you this reel. We want a video to be made. We want you to say this, and this. And literally, like, I have a screenshot of it. I don't know if I can share it because I don't know if that would get like a defamation case for that. Probably would. But like literally in bold red letters, it said, "Do not talk about negative comments." And it's like, how am I supposed to like go to my audience of all these people and say, guys, go buy it, go buy it, go buy it, and not say a single negative thing? And I was like, I had walked away. I can't,
Hmm.
I can't sell out because I want, a couple bucks and screw over the audience that gave me the opportunity to even be
Yeah.
here.
Mm. Yeah, that's like the sell your soul, sign the contract, sign it in blood, whatever, however the saying goes. Yeah, that's like a very it's an interesting thing, and look, we talked about it. Like when guys make the jump and go full YouTube, you see it like they're maybe a couple months or a year or two, they're good, and then boom, how's it going, guys? You can use this discount code here, this discount code here. Please go do it because I need to make rent this month. Like, just crazy, crazy content that was never the norm, a couple months prior. It's it's interesting to see. And then after you see that, it just gets worse and worse and worse. The views drop, and then the content just does not get any better. They never go back to how it originally was. They just keep trying to feed off of the dead following they have of 100,000 followers and hasn't grown 2,000 followers in the last 6 months. Like it's a plague, and you see it go around with the YouTube content creation like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, and I'd say that and like the use of AI stuff, it's
Mm,
like when I see a creator start using AI content, it's like, dude, I might as well just unfollow. Like,
yeah.
I don't, I there's so many, there's a lot of people who are like that. I think regarding like where you're at, like there's definitely like some like niche category of fishermen. It's like there's only so many guys who are watching, deep drop micro jig fishing. There's only so many people. So like,
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying. There's a lot of guys who have the opportunity, who can do stuff. The second they sell out, people don't want to watch it, and you fall through the algorithm hole, and you're never going to climb out of it.
Yeah. What two more questions and we can wrap it up. What's your kind of take on the algorithm stuff? Like, do you think that you get tapped into it? Like if you post a super mega viral you or Instagram reel that your content, other videos get pushed more, or like if you play nicely, don't go outside of the guidelines and stuff, your stuff maybe gets pushed a little bit more or gets pushed normal. Whereas if you go against and break a rule on Instagram, your stuff just hits bottom. Like what's your take on the whole algorithm thing? Because everybody talks about like they know it, everybody acts like it's this crazy scary thing. Kind of like what do you see or what do you think is true about it?
What I would say, at least like and this is just my like best, I guess, guess, from like doing this through multiple pages. I think everybody when they first start off, their accounts, I'll say it like they're like virgin accounts, like no strikes,
Yep.
there's no negative stuff, they haven't done anything, and it's like as much as you can throw at it is as much as you'll get out of it. And then once you start accumulating a couple of those strikes, or you post some videos that don't do too well, Instagram and TikTok will start, not showing your content to as many people.
Mm,
And a lot of people, though, I feel like will post stuff, they'll get really big, they'll gain a lot of followers, and then they start to plateau and they think, oh my gosh, I have to dump more videos, I have to post more videos. And then they create so much content that, your normal person who's following 500, 600 people a day, they're not viewing 9 of your videos that you posted this week. They're only viewing two
hmm
if they get showed to them in the first place. And then when you post so many videos that don't do well, then the algorithm looks at that and is like, oh, well, you just posted 10 videos and all of them got like 500 views. Like your content is terrible. We're not going to show this to anybody.
Yeah.
For me, I try to at least post like once every day or every other day. If I don't have anything of sustenance or I don't have anything that's like cool, I'm not going to post because I would rather, give my audience something good to watch rather than, something stupid.
Yeah.
But for me, like I fish solely in Florida. I bass fish 4 months out of the year. So when it comes to like relating to, the other 48 states that just do nothing but bass fish. I don't cater to any of those people.
Right.
So, I would say, at least in my content, like, yeah, like, I mean, from last year at this time, I had like 70,000, 80,000 subscribers. And now this year I got like 116. But realistically, I think I'm going to hit somewhere around like 100, like 120, 130 and probably max out until I would start doing like viral fishing
Right.
challenges
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, the thing is, like, I'm fine with my like little niche Florida crew. Like I have a lot of followers who are around in the United States, but I would say like at least 75% of my following is all Florida people.
Right. Another question just about the algorithm. Do you, as a big, quote unquote, big Instagrammer, big fishing Instagrammer even, Do you utilize the trial reels? Like, is that something that you've gained a lot of followers through or like a lot of views through? Or is it strictly you just post it onto your page and let that stuff marinate and go naturally?
I don't even know what trial reels are.
Oh,
So
okay. So that's like
I just
you post that and it gets posted to like the Explorer page and it only gets showed to people who don't follow you. So like somebody can go onto your page and they won't see those reels, but somebody can be just randomly doom scrolling and four of your videos could pop up and then if you get a follower from it, then they start seeing your normal feed, I guess is probably how you would say it.
interesting. Yeah, I've never even heard of that. So I'll have to look into that. Maybe that's some.
There you go. And then the last question I had for you, so going back to the YouTube thing, if you had to do one, are you a big title guy or a big thumbnail guy? Like what do you believe draws attention to maybe your style videos?
So right now I'm testing it out myself. For me, I hate thumbnails, dude.
I
I
do too.
hate them. I hate like the mega catch and someone's like, oh, like all this stupid stuff. Like for me, when I first started like my like the first couple of like decent videos I put out was literally just me holding a snook
Mm.
and that was it. There was nothing on it at all. And those videos did really, really well. Right now, I think the last two or three videos I've posted, I have used thumbnails. So I will see, what works better for me. But just personal preference wise, dude, I hate that stuff, man. I feel like such a cornball. I'm sitting there like, ew, I'm like fishing for people's dopamine level. Like, oh yeah, this will get their attention. Let me throw a big green $20,000 price tag in my YouTube videos so somebody will click on it.
Yeah.
I feel like such a loser doing that. But I mean, like, I guess, if that's what it takes, but I personally, I hate it. I don't want to do it.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that. And then the last short question I have is if you could have anybody come on the podcast, whether it's a YouTuber or somebody who's also swimbait fishing in Florida, like who would you suggest me to interview that you might know or that you fuck with?
Um, hmm, let's see. Trying to think of somebody who's like not, I
This was
want to say, dang, this
this was
sucks.
worse than the icebreaker.
Yeah, this is way harder than the icebreaker. Okay, I don't know if you could ever do this, and I don't even think that this is if you could do this. There's a group of gentlemen who are of African American descent.
Oh, dude, I would
And it,
Tosh Point oh, dude, I would get them on. I'd pick their brain.
dude, dude, if you could do the slur on the river, dude, I would let me know. It is my dream to fish with those guys. Like all I want to do is just go sit on the kayak and go get a sturgeon. Sturgeon General. That's all I want in my life. That's all I need.
I was
Those guys, top.
that's hilarious. I would not have guessed that's who you were going with, but I'm very glad you did because that was so out of left field. I was not expecting it at all.
There's another good YouTube group I do watch. I watch those videos on repeat, man. I love those. The sturgeon videos are by far my absolute most favorite YouTube videos on the face of the planet.
Those are hilarious. I will suggest you'd mentioned watching like the Japanese fishing videos. Of something I've talked about a gajillion times on the podcast is Japan's Top Bank Angler. It's where like these guys have to like scurry around these towns and like city urban areas and fish from the bank with one rod. And it's like top three fish win. It's a pretty cool series. Like, dude, it's all played up. Like the intro, I've talked about this so many times, but the intro is like a bass riding a Tron bike, and it writes out the Bass Cast top bank angler of Japan. Dude, it is so badass. Taku Itu actually won it. That's kind of he was really big in Japan for that, and then he came to the U.S. and fished the tournaments and stuff. It
Yeah,
should
for sure.
be.
I'm gonna have to say you said top bank fisherman.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. It might be. I can't remember
Oh, I
who.
see. I got it. I got it.
Dude, You will not under like I know a little bit of Japanese now. I still don't understand anything they're saying. It's all in Japanese. But dude, the graphics, what they're doing, they're catching like 12-inch fish and winning this whole tournament. Like it's such a cool little series. We've talked about doing that here in the US, and it's just something that I like to watch. That's like we talked about the fishing content. That's one piece of fishing content I'll watch. I have no idea what's going on, but it's just a cool watch. You can turn it on, do the laundry or do the dishes, and you have a good time listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely for sure. I'm gonna have to check that out. I got a trip I'm going on, so I can definitely watch those.
Heck yeah, dude. Real quick for people who don't follow you, where can they keep up with all the skipper shenanigans that they've heard for the last hour?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's the real skipper, REEL. And it's the same for all of my platforms.
Heck yeah. As always, I'll put all the skipper stuff in the show notes. You guys can go follow him, watch his stuff. If you guys aren't in Florida and I guess already don't watch him, it'll be a treat for you guys. So, as always, Skipper, thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate you carving out some time out of your busy Wednesday to come on here and talk about the podcast, yap about some content creation and all that good stuff. I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. See you guys.